Here are the results from my student Tommy. This is actually a real person, guys. You can actually go and talk to him inside, the Facebook group. So my student does $13,000 a month with private label dropshipping on Amazon, and I'm about to show you how you guys can mimic his success and do the exact same thing. Stick around.
Welcome to the Roughnecks. I'm Rico, your e-com instructor. I'm a software engineer, a military veteran, and a six-figure e-com seller. I've helped over 400 students on Amazon alone, and thousands more make money online. If you need to know anything about making money, you're gonna find it out right here.
So guys, welcome back to the Roughnecks Ecom channel. I'm your host, 𝗙𝗥𝗘𝗘, aka Rico. And over here, if you're new, we talk all about making money online, offline, and everywhere in between. If that sounds good to you, make sure you guys subscribe and click the little notification bell, get into the free Facebook group below so I can drop all the knowledge on you. Now, let's go ahead, let's talk about what you guys are here for, and that's making a whole lot of money with private label dropshipping. So what is private label dropshipping? Now, I know you guys have heard of retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, but you probably haven't heard of private label dropshipping. And private label dropshipping is, having your own listings, okay? Having your own private label listings, whether you're bundling or doing all types of different things, but they are your listings. You're not piggybacking off someone else's stuff. You're not wholesaling. You're not doing online arbitrage. You have your own listings and you are increasing your sales rank on those listings, in turn building your own brand and so on, okay? This is what my student Tommy does, and we're gonna get into the computer and you guys are gonna see who he is, how he does what he does, and I'm gonna show you guys what products you should be looking for, how much money you can make, so on and so forth. Now, this method of dropshipping is a little bit slower because you have to do everything that you would for FBA minus take the products and send them in. You're still gonna be dropshipping those products you're still gonna be dropshipping those products. You're not gonna be sending them into an FBA warehouse, but seeing as how you have to do all the legwork as far as like creating listings and doing product photography and all this other stuff, it is very time intensive, and most people don't want to do it because they feel that they would much rather make quick money. And overall, Amazon is a long game. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. When it comes to like online arbitrage, like that's more of a sprint because it's a cash flow business, and cash flow is king depending on what you're trying to do. But if you guys are really trying to build a brand and not have to pump out $100,000 a month in sales, even though that does seem impressive, then private label dropshipping is more your speed. So with retail arbitrage, the margins are pretty slim. Most people are going to be drop shipping from Walmart and places like that. So your margins are going to be anywhere from like 1 to 8% if you're lucky on the front end. In some cases, you guys will be breaking even just to get the rebate and your cashback credit card rewards on the backside. Now with private label drop shipping, you can routinely see margins around 35%, sometimes even higher. In the case of Tommy, you guys are going to see that he's doing extremely well. Most of us do extremely well in this arena, so instead of having to do $100,000 in sales a month just to make like $5,000, you literally can do about $10,000 and make the same amount. It's much, much easier to do $10,000 and make that money than it is to do $100,000, because once you start getting into that, if you get suspended, now you have what, $40,000, $50,000 sitting inside of Amazon that you can't touch, and you have to pay your Amex bill or Citibank, whatever, and they don't want to hear you don't have their money. So you guys have to be careful with that. I prefer to do less volume. I'd much rather make my money that way. I don't want to have to do $300,000 and hope for a 10% return when I could do like 60 grand and make the same amount of money. That's just me. That's just my personal opinion. I'm just all about the long game. I'm not necessarily about, turning that cash flow, because I don't necessarily have to be, right? And you guys don't have to be either. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump into the computer and let's talk about this. Let's break it down and let's show you all the good stuff.
So as promised, here are the results from my student Tommy. This is actually a real person, guys. You can actually go and talk to him inside, the Facebook group, check out, how I am as an instructor, how he feels about my teaching, everything, right? So he's doing 13,000 with private label drop shipping, okay? It is not that difficult as long as you guys follow the tenets laid ahead of you. If I tell you to do something, it's not because I like hearing myself talk. I mean, my voice is kind of sexy though, but it is to help you guys out. So you need to listen, you need to pay attention, okay? It is not a hard process. You guys just have to put everything in the right order. As you can see here, he's doing 13,000. He's reinvesting all of his money back into his business, but his profit margins are roughly 35 to 40%, as you can see here. And this is after PPC. So he's probably looking at closer to 40 to 50% for his margins before PPC even hits. You know, he mentioned he's on track to do anywhere from 900 to 1K, you know, that night. So guys, like, this is really, really simplistic. You just have to do everything the proper way. I mean, you know, you guys can sit there and drop ship from Walmart all you want, but you will never see these types of margins ever. You guys can say whatever you want. Be like, oh, I'm killing it with retail arbitrage. Yeah, you're doing $100,000 in sales and maybe making $6,000 or $7,000, and that's, you know, after rebates and everything else. My man's doing that without having to even lift a finger. You know, like, let's think about that. And this is all front end profit. Okay, so what do you guys need in order to do this? Let's get into that. Number one, you need an Amazon Seller Central account. You need a professional account. Okay, you need a pro account. You guys cannot go around with a free account, because you're going to be gated in a lot of things, and you have to pay an extra $1 on top of the fees. So it's not worth it. Okay, you guys need to create an Amazon Seller Central account and make sure it's a pro account. All right, and you guys are probably sitting there, oh my god, like, so what type of products do I need? You need evergreen products. Okay, products like this, I wouldn't say, not necessarily this exact product, but this is something that people use every single day, right? This is something that's going to sell, you know, month after month, day after day, whatever. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas. These are going to sell always. You know, when you are getting into private label drop shipping, evergreen products are going to be your best friend, because they are going to be the way that you make the majority of your money. All right, you will not make the most money drop shipping like seasonal items or trending items, because trends come and go. Now, I use trends and seasonal items to bump up my stores, okay, but I do not rely on them solely, and you shouldn't either, even though these numbers look good right here. So let's say these were Christmas lights and you were doing $140,000 during Christmas. You can bet that when the summer rolls around, you're not going to be doing that. Okay, so you guys need to make sure that you source really good products that people are going to be using quite frequently. You know, backpacks are another one. Tactical backpacks are in. They're always going to be in because people like the style. Okay, people like you know, tactical backpacks. They like tactical flashlights, things like that. You know, backpacks you can use all the time, especially with students. Okay, you're going to be carrying your books around every single day, and unless you're some type of He-Man, you know, carrying all your books, you know, wherever you go, you're going to need something to carry them in. And, you know, typically profit margins are pretty nice because it's a larger item, and, you know, you can sell it for a little bit more, but you're not going to necessarily spend more to get that product. You know, you'll probably spend anywhere from $9 to $15 to get a backpack, you know, something like this. Actually, a two strapper is probably $9 to $15. This is probably around $8 to $11. So, you know, keep that in mind, guys. Something that people are going to use every day, or something that people are going to carry with them every day. Something that is going to be useful, that's going to help them out. You don't necessarily want something like this, like snow boots. Okay, this is one of the things, this, not this particular item, but this is one of the things that you know, me and Tommy talked about. Okay, you know, we went over certain seasonal things like snow boots, right? Snow boots are pretty much a winter only thing. As you guys can see here, you know, the revenue is great, but this is Timberland. You know, Timberland is a really, really big, you know, brand, so they're always going to sell. But the majority of people here aren't selling so great. I mean, Amazon, you know, is selling all of these things, and even still, they're not doing all that well. You know, Uggs, you know, Ugg boots, you know, the Ugg brand itself, you know, should be selling way more than just this. Okay, way more. And AMZ Scout Pro is fairly accurate. It actually errs on the side of caution, and it lowers the estimates. Okay, whereas Jungle Scout would raise this up and you'd be like, oh, that's not so bad, but you know, this is more true to life of what you're gonna see. These aren't doing all that great, you know, and these are Uggs, guys, Uggs, but they're snow boots, and people aren't necessarily looking for snow boots this time of year. You know, they're going to be looking for them you know, closer to Q4. All right, so you have to keep that in mind. Like, you can have some of these things. Having seasonal items is not bad, but you're not necessarily going to want to have a buttload of seasonal products and no evergreen products. It's just not going to do you any good. You're actually going to be hurting yourself by doing that. Never forget that. Evergreen products will trump seasonal and trending products every single time, just because you are going to be relying on those seasons. You know, and Christmas is only, once a year. Winter in most places is not necessarily super long, and it's not going to be snowing all the time. So there's only a handful of places where snow is going to be very prevalent, and only a handful of months when it's going to be prevalent. So this is why the sales are so low. You want to be careful with that. But even still, let's say you have all that. You're like, all right, I found my evergreen products and things. I found my evergreen products and I got my product photography right. You're still going to need good keywords. Now, I use merchant words, okay? And a lot of people are going to complain, well, merchant words is so stupid. You can use helium-10, you can use all these other things, and you can, okay? You can. But for me, I prefer using this. This is the kind of the granddaddy, okay? Merchant words has been around a very, very long time. And I like using it. My students like using it. My virtual assistants, they prefer using it because this is what I taught them on and this is what they know, and it's never steered me wrong. Now, granted, most people will say, oh, well, you want to know about the page 1 results and all that stuff and so on and so forth. But if you know how the internet actually works, people aren't going to be typing the top, keywords of Amazon into their search browser on Google. All right. Some people, whatever you type in Google, you can bet people are going to be searching for on Amazon. So granted, helium-10 may have the helium-10, Jungle Scout, and whatever else. They may be pulling from page 1, but they're not pulling from all over the web. Okay. So when you're creating your listings, you need to have good, back-end search terms as well as keywords throughout your listing, with your title, your bullet points, and your product description. What is going to make more sense? Having just those page 1 results as your back-end search terms and that's it, or having keywords that people are actually searching for scattered throughout your listing, so you have good back-end search terms as well as keywords that people are going to be searching for all over, stuffed inside your listing. So it makes a listing more accessible. Okay, notice how Tommy is doing $13,000 with a 35 to 40% profit margin after PPC. He's probably closer to 50% profit margin. So 13,000, and that's, he's cooking. Like he should be doing anywhere from 15 to 20,000 come this month. If you're doing $15,000 with a 50% profit margin, guys, it's $7,500. And he's doing it all with merchant words. Don't get it twisted, guys. Don't sit there and be, oh, that's so stupid. Like I just proved it. You can use merchant words and be very successful. Like Tactical Backpack is obviously, searched a whole lot. Tactical Backpack for Men, Orca Tactical Backpack, Rebels. Well, this is a company, but you wouldn't want to toss it in there because that could be kind of bad. But these search terms, Amazon search volume is okay. It's not necessarily the greatest, but you can use this to create your listings. You need to have good keywords. You need to have good back-end search terms, and merchant words is what I use. You guys can use whatever you prefer, but this is what I use. All right. And it can help you get to the next level. It can help you, sell better. It will help you sell better, because if you're creating a listing and you haven't done any type of keyword searching, then you were absolutely wrong. And if you fail, that's on you. Okay. So never, discount how important it is to have strong keywords and back-end search terms. All right, so let's recap what we talked about. You guys, first and foremost, need to have a professional seller account. All right, end of discussion. There is no talking about it. Professional seller account, register here. You need to have evergreen products. All right, something like wallets or whatever, what people are using on a consistent basis. All right, you got to. End of discussion. You just have to, period. Evergreen products are going to be the way to, make that money. See, Tactical Backpack, same thing here, guys. Same, like you need to have them. This right here is an evergreen product. It's going to sell all the time. Look at this, $39.99. You could probably pick this up for like 15 bucks. You're going to make a pretty penny on it as long as you make sure you do things the proper way. You'll probably make after fees like 18 bucks on this, which isn't bad, maybe even more. Things like this, these are not evergreen. These are seasonal, and as you can tell, it's a poor niche to pick up. Just don't do it. Do not do it. You don't want these kind of products. And then you need to have good keywords and back-end search terms. So make sure you use a good tool, whether that's helium-10 or Jungle Scout or whatever, or Viral Launch, doesn't matter. I prefer merchant words. You guys can use whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with, but you need to have those good back-end search terms. So hopefully this will help you guys out, give you an idea what to look for, and what back-end search terms you need to be, trying to use, what back-end search terms you need to use to construct your title, your bullet points, and your product description. So that being said, guys, make sure you click the link below. get into the free Facebook group, you know, check out the free ebook, you know, hopefully that'll help you guys out as well, give you an idea of what you need to be doing in the e-commerce world. You know, make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell, because I'm dropping content like this all the time. If you have any questions, please do reach out. I answer every single comment, you know, myself. There's no virtual assistant that does it. So make sure you guys are safe. If you can't be safe, be smart. Peace out. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one.